Okay, it seems like it's 6:30. We are virtual today, or in person, but broadcasting this evening. Dr. Swab is not here this evening, so Maria Brewer, it's all yours.
Hello, welcome to the November 16th Bradford Exempted Board of Education meeting, regular session. Can we do a roll call, please?
Dr. Swab, Mrs. Brewer.
Here.
Pastor Reindl.
Here.
Mr. Biesecker.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening and everyone that's watching at home. Dr. Swab was unable to make it this evening. First, we can just look at the agenda, go over the agenda. We're going to go over the recognition of our students and staff spotlight, and approve the agenda and the minutes. And then we'll do our administrative reports, public participation, if anyone would like to participate, the financial report from Carla, and new business and old business, and the executive session. Do we have executive session still on the okay? And that's all. So with that being said, we're going to start with Michelle doing the minute, the student recognition. Joe?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. We're just waiting for the slideshow to be pulled up so I can read what they've got up there.
Hello.
How's that?
It's the next slide. One more.
There we go.
This is our fourth grade spotlight. The first one is Braden Venrick, and it said, what Ms. Newell wrote is, I would like to recognize Braden Venrick as my student of the month for November 2020. Braden is a fourth grader in my classroom. He's new to our Bradford school, but he says he has always been a Bradfordian. He loves Bradford. He is the 9-year-old son of Michaela and Chance Luther and Brandon Lance. He lives in Bradford with his mom, stepdad, and his younger sisters, Nova and Olivia. He has a cat named Felix. His favorite thing to do at home is crafts with his mom. However, his all-time favorite pastime is his love for football. He is a defensive lineman and a wide receiver for the Bradford Pee Wee football team. His favorite subject in school was math. He is currently our class banker in our classroom economy. He has told me, however, that he would like to be an NFL football player for the Cincinnati Bengals instead of a banker when he grows up. We definitely could use him on the Bengals. When I was asked to pick a student for this recognition, he immediately came to my mind. He is always so eager to learn, to share, and to help anyone. He goes above and beyond, putting in effort for his classwork and being a great person. Being polite and friendly are just a few of his character's traits. He has easily made friends with everyone. In the short time that I've known him, I have learned that he has a kind, caring heart of gold, and I'm so happy and proud to have him in my class this year. The Bradford School is very lucky to have him here. Also, he is a future leader of this community, and that is Braden Venrick. Our second one is Ava Huddleston from Mrs. Roberts. She'd like to nominate Ava for Student of the Month. Ava is a student I can always count on to try her very best. Schoolwork isn't always easy for Ava, but she has grit and determination. She sets a goal to go above and beyond in her AR goals. Not only did she go above and beyond, she blew her goal out of the water. Way to go, Ava. She worked so hard in every class. She was always on task. She raised her hand to answer every question, and she was always willing to help a friend if needed. I'm so proud of the hard work Ava has put into being the best she can be in class. Just last week, a friend fell. Several classmates laughed at the student, but not Ava. She helped them pick up all their supplies and asked them if they were okay. She has set high goals for herself this year, and I'm so excited to see her work hard and reach those goals. In her free time, Ava enjoys cheerleading and plays with her dogs. Congratulations, Ava. You should be so proud of all your hard work in the classroom as an excellent friend. She definitely is. The Huddleston family all together is such a great asset to our community.
All right, and I'll start off with Xavier Robinson, nominated by Mrs. Estes. She's nominating Xavier. Although I haven't had Xavier in art class since he was in 7th grade, his politeness and good gestures have not gone unnoticed. While standing in the hallway before class and during class transitions, I have noticed that if someone drops a pencil, paper, a book, or even a runaway magnet as others pass by, Xavier automatically notices and goes out of his way to pick it up for the person. He may think nothing of his small gestures, but his good deeds are much appreciated by all that have been a recipient of Xavier's act of kindness. Keep up the great acts of kindness, Xavier. You are an outstanding young man. Thank you is very much appreciated, and congratulations. Second is Madeline Gillizet, nominated by Mr. Galoma. Madeline is an 8th grade student at Bradford Exempted Village Schools. Madeline consistently goes above and beyond in the classroom. Whenever there is an opportunity for Madeline to show her creativity, she excels. This does not translate into her having an ego. When her work is highlighted in class, she never takes the opportunity to gloat, but she always offers other students an insight into her thinking process. It is always beneficial to have a student who consistently goes above and beyond, but is also willing to help any chance she gets. Congratulations, Madeline.
Michelle, do you want to do Mr. Snyder's?
Yes, if you could pull it back up. Sorry.
I'm sorry, that was not the next slide, so I messed up. It'll take me a minute. Hold on.
I could honestly just use words on my own, but since it's written, I'll just read what I have written down here. During a difficult time, not knowing whether we could continue in-person learning, Shane stepped in and helped keep the district running. Shane Centers also continued to make lesson plans and grade work for his regular responsibilities. He showed concern, compassion, and planning for the high school. For example, we were short-staffed and we found staff to help ahead of time. Thanks again, Shane, for being a leader and a great part of the K-12 student family. I don't know what we could have done without him to keep the building running during some chaotic times. And it, like I said, it ran smoother than I thought it could. So thanks to Shane.
Thank you, Michelle. Next item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Item A and B, do we have any additions or deletions to the printed agenda? If not, can I have a motion for approval?
So moved. I'll second.
And roll call, please.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Pastor Rindle,
Yes.
Mr. Biesecker,
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Next is the approval of the minutes from the October 12th and the November 2nd meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Also move. I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Pastor Rindle,
Yes.
Mr. Biesecker,
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
And next we have our administrative reports, and I will turn it over to Mr. Hurst, Superintendent.
Okay, I just have a few things here to talk about this evening. First of all, hopefully everybody survived okay with power outages around the district. Obviously, that caused a problem with our educational system for today. We knew that it was out yesterday after many lengthy calls to DP&L. We decided that it was not going to be advantageous to have school today, and as it turns out, it would have been something that wouldn't have worked no matter what. So anyways, we now have our first calamity day for the year. So we will move on and hope for a very mild winter this year. So this week, today so far, we didn't have to worry so much about COVID, but more about power in our district. Today, we don't have near as many students or staff members quarantined out for quote COVID. So hopefully we'll be okay for a few days here, but those things certainly run in waves. So we'll see how things go later in the week. I do want to say just a quick shout out here. Mrs. Levy said something really nice about Shane Snyder, and I echo everything that she had said there. There was a time a little better than a week ago now where we had very few administrators in the building, and Shane stepped up. Mr. Snyder took care of a lot of things, but I think there's also a lot of things that could not have been accomplished had we not had the leadership of Mrs. Levy here in the district as well. So between the two of them, things I think went very well. And none of this can happen without a good staff behind everybody. And knowing that she had the respect and he had the respect of our staff to push forward and have people step up whenever and wherever it was needed, it goes a long way. So I very much appreciate who we have on staff here, and none of this would be possible without each and every one of you. So thank you, especially to Mr. Snyder and Mrs. Levy for taking care of a lot of administrative decisions during that time that a lot of us were out of the district. So that being said, I am done with my part, and Mrs. Levy and Mr. Triplett are going to go back to the slideshow now. As soon as my computer loads.
First we have here is we recognize the Darke County Educator of the Year, and that for 2019-2020. Mr. Gray and Mrs. Hoy came from the Darke County office, and Mr. Green was our Darke County Educator of the Year. So we're very proud of her. She's been through a lot, and she still continues to be diligent in her work.
I got to begin Mrs. Moore's class as a billboard design competition each year, sponsored by the Miami County Safe Community Coalition and State Farm. The past 3 years, the winning student in billboard have been from Bradford High School. This year is no different, as we have made it the 4th year in a row. Buzz Brewer was the winning student this year, as this was her sign that won this year. Along with the winning the award, Buzz received a $500 check, and her sign was placed on Washington Pike between Farrington Road and Piqua. Congratulations to Buzz and Mrs. Moore, as I think this is just another example of what Mrs. Moore does in her classroom with her students and the hard work that they put in. So this is the picture of her billboard, and the next slide is a picture of her holding her check with those others involved. Next, we also had an exciting week with 2 of our female athletes as they signed to further both their educational and athletic careers at the next level. Notice I said education first, because not only have both of these individuals put in the work to be successful athletically, but they both are outstanding students academically. With their hard work and determination in both areas, it has allowed Skip Miller to continue at Ohio University playing softball, and Olivia Daugherty to run at Bluffton University. We are very proud of both of these ladies and wish them the best of luck, as they are a great representation of Bradford.
My next part is exciting for the elementary. I'm so proud of our other 2 high school students. That's very much an accomplishment. What I have here are some of our party days for the Halloween party. They went really well. They were allowed to take their masks off when they were sitting eating their treats, and some of them still had a mummy wrap, and I had some twins that were there as well. And then I also want to thank Mr. Weldy, who donated the pumpkins. As you can see, we had a positive pumpkin patch to represent what we would have liked to have been the pumpkin show, but we still had our pumpkin show spirited heart. Also, in the second grade classroom, we had some voting going on. They had voting booths, and so the second grade got to take part. You can see one of those pictures there that shows where they were inside, where they got to vote for the president. We also have some Pee Wee football. That was I guess it was the playoff games. They gave a really good try against National Trail at National Trail, and they had a good season. We just finished up our fall conferences, and this is the first time we've ever done them virtual, but because of the COVID numbers rising, we ended up doing them all virtual or by phone conference. And when we looked at our participation, we had a 95% participation rate. The teachers are so excited because it's probably the best we've had in turnout by going virtual with Google Meets and doing phone conferences. And they were able to share some of the documents on Google Meet to show how their kids were. Like I said, overall, it was a success. And they, after having a staff meeting, thought it would be the way to go from now on because it makes it more convenient for parents to be a part of the educational process. Our upcoming events is this Thursday. We have and we also have the Thanksgiving break coming up the 25th to the 28th. Any questions for Mr. Triplett or I?
No, thank you very much. Is Chloe here or? No, Chloe? Okay. I'm next for Upper Valley. Tonight on the agenda, you'll see under new business item 10, and it's a resolution for the Career Center to stagger our terms on the board. So a few years ago, the governor made it a different seat for the Career Tech Center Board of Education. So everybody got on the same year. So we could totally wipe out the board every 3 years and have a new board. So now the governor has decided that we can stagger our Board of Education and appoint those seats for some people to have a 1 year, some people to have a 2 year, some people to have a 3 year. So we're all on staggering terms. After this year, then we can go back to our 3 year term just when our time's up. So this is going to prevent wiping out the whole board and starting with a new board, which they were always staggered before. So certain schools would come up and then other schools would until they changed the way they did it. And then we all had to be on a 3 year term. They're all on the same term. So tonight we're just asking that you approve the term. Some people will be in the first year, some will be second year, and then the third. So we're just approving that term tonight, and we don't have to approve the seat until January. I'm not sure mine's up in January. I think it may be another year, but we're just approving the terms. So
we went a lot of years ago. Years can you have another year?
yeah,
We went 2 years. It worked out better because then he was on the board and
right.
board and had election and then nothing had to change.
Right.
And so vote on the next year. Yeah, you would have another year.
Well, when the governor changed it a few years ago, he did 3 year terms, and you don't have to be a Board of Education anymore. So it can be anyone anyone from a district that meets his qualifications or whatever. Then they can be on the board. So they switched it then, but they're just asking for approval to do the staggering terms. So I just wanted to bring that up, and that's really all I have for Upper Valley. Any questions on that? So like mine, I think we pretty much went in alphabetical order. So mine would be a 2 year term whenever it's, so we'll have 1 year, and we'll have some 2 years and 3 year, but when mine is, it will be a 2 year term. Just to start this year. Next, Carla.
Just a couple of things I want to talk about tonight. We've been working, and subsequent to this meeting, there'll be a Public Records Retention Committee meeting. We've been trying to scan records, working towards that. Mr. Hurst has filed for a grant to try to get us some equipment that will aid in this process. Our whole intent is to have everything online in a repository, and so we have the ability to not have to store as many records because there are a lot of records here to maintain. So working on that, I appreciate Mr. Hurst doing a work towards that. The other thing I wanted to bring to you tonight is you'll be voting on the 5-year forecast. I have been working on this. The software totally changed this year. I have a document that is ready. It's around 43 pages of graphs and charts and numbers. I'd like to vet it a little more before I send it to you, but I'd like you to present it. It is not noticeably different than the one in May. We haven't had a lot of changes. I don't know if you've been watching the news. This fair funding formula is now being discussed. They had testimony at Columbus that is ensuing, and they are trying to have a totally driven or mostly driven by student enrollment funding formula. So that will be an interesting process to see how that plays out. We do want to encourage as much enrollment here as we can. We have a lot to offer here, and I think letting people know what we have to offer will be a great thing for us and for the people involved. So with that, that's the conclusion to my report tonight.
I'd have a question on that. So our enrollment would also include the students that are doing the homeschool from our school district, correct?
When you talk about homeschooling, the online schooling, that's a little different from homeschooling. Yes, it does. Those are actually considered our students right now. They just have a different way of learning.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Carla?
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have public participation. Did you get anything? No questions, anything? Okay. Having no public participation, we're going to move on to the financial report from the treasurer, which consists of items 1 through 15. Can I?
I'll second.
Carla?
Are there any questions? Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Pastor Reindl,
Yes.
Mr. Biesecker,
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yeah,
Actually, was the next one on there, the 1, 2, and 3, or is that a separate number? I don't have a number on my agenda for that one.
I'm good. The resolution.
Oh, that was 50. Okay.
That's part of the tax budget resolution.
So next item of business is old business. No old business at this time. And new business, which is consent items 1 through 13. Can I have a motion for items number 1 through 13?
I'll move. So,
I'll second.
Any discussion for items 1 through 13? If
I
not,
have some clarification.
Go ahead.
if you'd like. Just a couple different pieces here. We did talk about our subpay is competitive but not high. In fact, it's close to competitive. It's not truly equal to our surrounding districts. So during this time, we got the ability to raise it 20%, which would be $102 per day. So if anybody is listening and wants to become a substitute, please call us at the school because we need subs. That's my shameless plug for the evening.
What are qualifications?
Qualifications, if you have a bachelor's degree, you can easily get your substitute license. If there's any other questions out there, we can certainly work through those. That's primarily the first question they ask. It's really, really easy if you've got a bachelor's degree to attain a substitute license and then start working with us. And you get to pick which days you work, so it's a wonderful job. So also during this pandemic, number 8 on the new business piece, we wanted to explain this is going to help people that have issues in a situation, for example, where their children are working with a child provider that may not be able to watch their kids during this time. This would allow teachers and staff members to use sick leave for those such situations. So an example would be if a teacher's child has a person they normally go to, but they're quarantined because of COVID, that person could use sick leave as an alternative to the others that are out there right now, to be able to work through those. The rest of them, I think, are fairly self-explaining. I did want to throw one other thing there. We talked about the records retention stuff. Harlan mentioned digitizing all that. We actually have records back when the school started in 1896. So imagine boxes and boxes and boxes of microfiche, which is very tedious to work with because our counselor actually has to find the microfiche for anybody before 1992, take that microfiche up to the library where she can transfer it onto a thumb drive, bring it back here, plug it into her computer, and then print everything off or send it from the computer thumb drive at that point. Anything past 1992, we've got a paper file in our records room, but with this push here, we will be able to digitize all of it. And we're hoping that this grant money comes through to be able to pay for a part of this. So we can actually utilize that even if we're away from the school, and as long as we've got internet connections during any time, we could access that and be able to send it to colleges or employers and make it much more efficient piece. That being said, I'll answer any questions if anybody's got them.
Number 12, is that for moving snow, we got to take care of ourselves?
Yes, that's just for moving snow. The salt itself will be taken care of by Skip. And if anybody's looking, the agenda should be published on our webpage if you wanted to look under there.
Any more questions or comments? If not, roll call, please.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Pastor Rindle,
Yes.
Mr. Biesecker,
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
And next, we will be entering into executive session. Can I have a motion for executive session? And a second. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Pastor Rindle,
Yes.
Mr. Biesecker,
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
No action will be taken after executive session, so we will return to adjourn, but there will be no action taken this evening. Thank you.
Let's go across the hallway to another.
These, we didn't ask about these. They're just ours?
Yeah. Of the, PO bonus.
Nice, they're really nice.
Shout out to that Ken and PTO. You do a great job.
They are really nice. I like the shirt and the material.
Sorry, I didn't change the date on that. Confused. Because we're so live. This is for sure. Scott, can I keep it? No, I'm sorry.
No. I don't know. Oh, no, chair.
You graduate, wouldn't be second? No, right now.
No.
It's a little cooler in here than it is over there.
It is. See, I think this is comfortable in here.
Oh,
Or
really?
first-
After I slept in the cold that I did last night.
Know what you mean.
So we're good to go.
We are now back, and if anybody's out there, we are back from executive session, so.
Can I entertain a motion for,
So moved.
thank you, adjournment?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Pastor Rindle.
Yes.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned. 8:05.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
This concludes our board meeting.
You know, get to work.